Good morning, guys. Today we are going to see about the planet of Mars. Mars is the fourth planet of Sun, named as a red planet because of its reddish appearance. Mars is a terrestrial planet within the atmosphere mainly of CO2.
Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun, named after the Roman god of war and often described as the red planet due to its reddish appearance. Mars is the terrestrial planet with a thin atmosphere composed primarily of carbon dioxide. Mars and Earth have approximately the same land mass. Martian surface gravity is only 37% of Earth's, meaning you could leap nearly 3 times higher on Mars. Only 16 missions to Mars have been successfully including orbiters, landers and rovers. There have been 39 missions to Mars. Since the first USSR's Marsnik 1 was launched in 1960.
Martian surface gravity is only 37% of Earth's atmosphere. 16 missions to Mars have been successfully including orbiters, landers and rovers. First USSR's in 1960.
Mars has the largest dust storms in the solar system. They can last for months and cover the entire planet on. The seasons are extreme because its elliptical oval-shaped orbital path around the Sun is more elongated than most other planets in the solar system.
Mars has the largest dust storms in the solar system. They can last for months and cover the entire planet. The seasons are extreme because of its elliptical oval-shaped orbital path around the Sun. Is more than most of other planets in the solar system.
On Mars, the Sun appears about half the size as it does on Earth. At the closest point to the Sun, the Martian southern hemisphere leans towards the Sun, causing a short, intensely hot summer, while the northern hemisphere endures a brief, cold winter at its farthest point from the Sun. The Martian northern hemisphere leans towards the Sun, causing a long, mild summer, while the southern hemisphere endures a lengthy, cold winter.
On Mars, there appears about the half of the size as it does on the Earth. At the closest point of the Sun, Martian southern hemisphere, because towards the Sun causing a short, intensively hot summer, while the northern hemisphere endures a cold winter as the farthest point from the Sun.
Scientists have found tiny traces on Martian atmosphere with meteoroids violently ejected from Mars, then orbiting the solar system among galactic debris for millions of years because crash landing on Earth. This allows scientists to begin studying of Mars prior to launching space missions.
Scientists have found tiny traces on the Martian atmosphere within the meteoroids, violently ejected from the Mars. This allowed scientists to begin studying Mars prior to launching space missions.
Mars takes its name from the Roman god of war. The ancient Greeks called the planets Ares after the god of war. The Romans then did likewise, associating the planet's blood red color with Mars, their own god of war. The red color Mars is known for its due to the rock and dust covering its surface, being rich in iron.
Our nearest neighbor Mars was named by the Romans after the god of war because of its color reminder of blood. The red color Mars is known for due to of rock and dust covering its surface being rich in iron. The landing craft that visited Mars took lot of pictures of its surface. They saw a layer of soil that too rich in iron, which gives Mars its red color like rusty iron of Earth.
India's maiden mission to Mars has traveled beyond the surface of influence of Earth. extending about 9,25,000 km in its 10-month-long voyage to the red planet. The spacecraft crossed the SOU of Earth at around 1:14 hours on Wednesday, Indian Space Research Organization said. ISRO's workhorse, ISRO's PSLV C-25, had successfully injected the 1,350 kg Mangalyaan orbiter into the orbit around the Earth in a textbook launch from the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota on November 5.
The atmosphere of Mars was once thicker, warmer, and wetter than it is today until it was damaged in a catastrophic collision with the planet. Data collected by NASA closely said suggests the red planet atmosphere once had more oxygen in it than air, giving surface weight to the theory.
The atmosphere on Mars was once thicker, warmer, and wetter than it is today until it was damaged in a catastrophic collision. With a planet the size of Pluto, scientists claim, data collected by NASA's Curiosity rover suggests the red planet atmosphere once had more oxygen in it than Earth, giving serious weight to the theory it could have previously harbored alien life. But last year, the Curiosity team reported no definitive whiff of methane near the landing site. And since then, the rover has taken several more air samples.
Thank you, meet you on tomorrow.